Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading for August 18th to the 24th. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. This is a big week. This is an enormous week for you. Welcome to a new season. Yeah. This great shift that you're feeling, this new era, this new you, the prison portal locked and loaded. And you know that. And if you're new to my channel, look at the August monthly forecast, okay? Or any of the past like 20 forecasts where I talk about the prison portal, the rare grand trend that's happening right now. So I'm looking at what's going on for y'all. You're still riding the high of the Jupiter, Venus, Sirius triple conjunction that happened in Cancer last week. That was a huge seeding point for you. So I love that. And there is kind of like a part two this week, which, I'll touch upon. But this is big. We're moving into Virgo season. And you see right off the bat, we have a new moon in Virgo. And I'm calling it an astrological blue moon. And I'll explain later. But you are going to have so much emphasis and attention and activity, not only in your daily activities, your day-to-day, your lifestyle, your routines, and work is a big thing for y'all. It's a huge thing for y'all. But also health matters. And I would not be surprised if some of y'all get pets. The other thing is you're still having a lot of emphasis on home and family. That's going to be a really big focus for y'all, especially, and that includes like property matters and real estate, and maybe you're going to be buying a home, maybe you're going to be moving. We've come to that. Yeah, I told you, you're going to get to this point soon. So or even just like decorating. There's just a lot of home, like the foundations of your life. Okay, things have to do with your parents and your grandparents and children and your significant other, but a lot of grounded energy, okay, with Virgo energy. Now, August 18th on Monday, you see that the sun is going to trine Chiron. Wow. This is all about inner healing. And this is really amazing, especially if you felt a little bit those, hard edges that we've remember. July and August was bonkers, still is bonkers. And so there could have been some moments that you had, right? And so this is really great because the sun is still in Leo at this point, right? It's amazing. And it's happy place because the sun rules Leo. And so think of it as shining all this light on these old wounds, these inner wounds, but in this radiant, optimistic way. Think of it as high frequency vitamin D, right? On any battle scars, or it's your 11th house. So that's what I'm saying is like there's something here. It just feels like there's healing words that's going to be going around. And drop these forecasts a few days before the actual week. You may be already feeling it moving into the weekend, but you're definitely going to feel it all week long. It's that strong. And remember, trines they work in your favor. They're auspicious. They're the nature of Jupiter. They're wonderful. So this is really great, especially because it's your 11th house that it's kind of shining all this light on. Remember, you've got Chiron, which just went retrograde at the end of July, in Aries. Yeah. And you've got Saturn in Aries. You have Neptune in Aries. You have a lot happening in that Aries area of your chart. You have Ceres in Aries. And remember, Ceres is also retrograde. Saturn's retrograde. Neptune's retrograde. It's all you're going within. In terms of your connection with other people, in groups that you belong to, in your community, social media as well as part of the 11th house, and your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, and dreams. So what does this even mean for you? This means that this is your time to reconnect or connect with your authentic self, especially in this creative way. And again, a lot of conversations that you're going to be having, a lot that's going to be on your mind. There's going to be this restoration in any lost confidence that's very possible here with you as that leader, that role model. All right. So really, really great. But again, huge focus on your relationship with other people. And even just like I said, groups, like even like your LinkedIn community, right? Things like that. Are you turning down those LinkedIn email invites? that may be a thing. I don't know. It's you're working on you. But the one thing I'm going to point out is that Eris, who is Mars's sister, Eris, yeah, divine goddess warrior. Remember, she threw the golden apple at the wedding to stir things up, but for the greater good. There's a whole reason why, right? She's right on top of Chiron. So there may be something here where you could be a little aggressive about it, low key aggressive, in terms of your healing, as in ripping off the band aids. Yep. So it is it's like, it's actually really nice if you use it in the right way, but this is just you overcoming anything that may have been, especially the way that you're perceived. That's really important, for Geminis. And it's your 11th house. I just told you have a bundle of asteroids, planetoids, and planets there. You have Chiron there. So again, more about your connection with other people, relationship with other people, but in a group capacity. But then that's why I say social media too, because it's all about the masses here. So yeah, you're definitely overcoming everything. You're like the Gale Weathers. You make through every movie. Anyway, Mercury sextile Mars on that same day. Remember, last week, this is about 10 days long. Go to your last week's reading on what this means, but this is the second perfection. All right. So you are definitely going to have, remember, Mars moved into Libra. That is a big thing that you're working with right now. That's great for you. Remember, you had that amazing air trine. You're coming out of it. Mars and Libra, you got Pluto and Aquarius. So Mars and Libra is your 5th house of true love and romance and fun and pleasure and sex and procreation and recreation, like just having fun, but diplomatically. I mean, it's Libra energy, but a lot of focus on marriage, a lot of focus on your commitments, a lot of focus on contracts. You're going to be signing things. You're going to be, again, there's this connection with other people that's going to be a big focus for you this week. You may be launching something too. Okay. Like I did, right? greatawakener.com. Yeah. On the day of the Jupiter Venus Sirius conjunction, August 12th. And I think this video is actually coming out the day after that. That's, yeah. Wow. All right. That's all. Yeah. I'm catching up with your forecast here. And that's what I was going to say. Tuesday, August 19th, it's not even on the whiteboard. You've got the moon, which is a ruler of Cancer, conjuncting Jupiter, which is exalted in Cancer. Special day because it's got to be trining the North Node and sextile the South Node. And so there's a lot of intuitive energy, a lot of home and family energy, a lot of like nurturing energy, a lot of spiritual growth. Jupiter will be at its degree of exaltation this day. We're going to talk about it more in the second spread, but wow, this is amazing. And remember, this is why I say this is kind of like part 2, is that there is this sense of it's in your second house. So this is happening right at the same time with Sun trine Chiron, where you're doing all this healing this week. And then you've got the moon conjuncting Jupiter in your second house of self-worth and self-value. You are building this confidence in a way that you won't even recognize yourself. You're going to be like Wonder Woman or Supergirl, whoever, Batman. Here's the thing. It just feels very optimistic. And again, we'll talk about it in the second spread. Money too. Okay. Remember, that's your second house. Money, finances. Remember, that's a seeding point that happens. You're going to see things just going to grow from that throughout. Anyway, let's get to the. I kind of want to. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing. August 20th, because I love you. I'm a Gemini rising, so I got you. August 20th. That's when the moon will conjunct Venus. Yeah. First half of the day. And so, wow. Money. Venus is money. Okay. Wealth. So again, part 2, truly, because it's happening in your second house of money, finances, but also like even there's this sense of like relationships, how you relate with others, things that make you feel good, things that your heart desires. And again, a lot of a focus on home and family here, and just that nurturing maternal side as well. It's very moving, creative energy here as well, and food. There may be something with food. Go treat yourself. So I really love that. Big big time. Now, all right, Friday, August 22nd, you got the sun moving into Virgo. So we're switching things up. You are getting down to business now. That's Virgo energy. All right. And so this is you checking off your to-do list, being very grounded and practical with your routines, work. Health matters as well as a big thing, but work is a big thing for y'all. You know that with the North Node in your 10th house of career as well. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening with the workspace. If you're not here for work, just whatever you are doing that you're passionate about, that you're putting your energy into, you're just getting a lot more organized, and that's Virgo energy. Okay. But colleagues, employees, all on the table here, your relationship with colleagues and boss, just think workspace. Okay. Your intern. Yeah. That graduated from Emory. Anyway, Virgo is also all about health, healthcare, health. You're going to be getting doctor checkups. You're going to be doing things, improving your overall health and mental health too. Yeah. Because just like you, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And you know, Mercury's now direct. So there's a lot more clarity too. But Virgo season, you're a mutable sign like Virgo. So you're just going to really, you're going to vibe here. There is something where it's like you're preparing now for this new harvest, Virgo harvest, right? We Virgo. Anyway, the lower expression of Virgo, and this is what I just want you to watch out for, and I've talked about this, is like perfectionist energy, over worrying, controlling, being hypercritical. Be mindful of that. You don't want that. You just want to trust the big picture. But again, huge, and remember, we're all human, right? Nobody's perfect, but it's your fourth house. So again, so much attention on home and family. And what I love about Virgo is that it's Virgo represents purification. So there's a new moon, break out the sage, do your, rituals, but it's also like detox and cleansing. Remember, I talked about health, but Virgo is, offers this. If Virgo is known for hospitality and nurturing, you may be, hosting guests at your home. Yeah. Throughout Virgo season. But Virgo is also known for service to others. And I feel like a lot of people forget that's a central theme, not only for Virgo energy, but life in general. Service to others. It's written about in, every ancient text, philosophies, religions, whatever. It's even the law of one, right? It is something that we're a collective. All right. I talk more about it at greatawakener.com. But anyway, that's what I really love about Virgo season. So there's something here that's really special for you and the home sector. Even neighbors too. There may be something with neighbors in your local community. Now, here's another thing is that normally I'd say this is the energy that you're going to feel for the next 4 weeks. But as you know, Gemini, this is not a typical month, not a typical year or decade. So what does this even mean for you? You had the South Node move into Virgo back in February, the first time since 2006, 2007. Think about what happened in your life around that time. You're going to pick up certain patterns around the home sector, like I said, okay? And there even is something here and work and your daily routines. You could have had changes with work since February of this year and health. Yeah. And your day to day and your lifestyle and your habits and your patterns. And you probably had a big turn of events in March 2025 when we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. There could have been some big changes, especially work and home. All right. And then you saw that Mars moved into Virgo in June, and we just came out of that, the first week of August. So that was putting a lot of energy in your home sector as well. The foundations of your life, relationships, significant other, all of that, parents, children, all of that, ancestry roots. Again, real estate is a big thing. A lot of y'all are buying property, by the way, with this new moon. But I'm going to tell you something bigger than that. You've got the sun, okay? So Mars is out of Virgo, but now the sun's moving to Virgo. So you've been working with this Virgo energy pretty much all year. And you see the sun is going to be shining light in this area. The sun is like optimism and opportunities, and all that. But this is a new moon right off the bat. And this is a new moon in Virgo on August 22nd, 23rd, depending where you live, because it's happening, at 2 in the morning, 2:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world, because you want to plant seeds, set intentions. The time of the new moon and after is different from a full moon. But here's the thing. It's at 0 degrees. It's a critical degree. Think of it as a gateway, or even like a reset, but a reset for something huge. This big seeding point. Yeah. Literally, it's Virgo, it's earth. Yeah. Fertile, very fertile soil. But 0 degrees. Think of the freshest of fresh new beginnings, of the purest form of Virgo energy. That would be your day-to-day. It would be your work. It would be your responsibilities, your duties when it comes to work, colleagues, employees. It would be your health matters, the digestive system, Virgo rules the gut. It would also be home and family. So please set intentions, plant seeds, because this is going to be a really big portal for you. Big. Where things can really root up for you for the next few months. And I say that because if you saw your August forecast, you know that we have the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo next month at 29 degrees, which is a critical degree. And there's only 30 degrees per sign, right? So 0 to 29. It's bookending something here. But anyway, it's a bigger story. Just know that's happening September 21st. And eclipses are 100 times the power of a new moon. So what does this even mean? Well, first, this is why I call it, an astrological blue moon, because you have 2 new moons in the same sign back to back. And so what this is doing is, from this point forward, August 22nd, 23rd, you lump in September, and then all of that energy, that Virgo energy, because you're still in Virgo season anyway, carrying you for 6 months. So it's a supercharged energy that's taking you into March 2026. So, as I've been saying, week after week after week after week, take inspired action this summer, this month, for where you want to be by February 2026. Now you see another reason why outside of the prison portal, right? That rare red trine, that's creating this new era for you, this new you. And the reason why you want to take advantage of this new moon in a really big way is because September 1st, Saturn moves back into Pisces. So that changes the prison portal. The biggest window of opportunity for you, for this new you, new era, new life that you want for yourself, is right now. Okay? It's right now. So please take advantage. Yeah. There's got to be, everything's leading up to February 2026. And then you see even in March 2 of next year. All right. But so between now and especially until October, you really will have a lot of focus on health, wellness, fitness, work. Things are going to change. Your routines, your daily routines. You're working toward your legacy. You've got the North Node in your 10th house of fame and career and recognition and honors. Your work, and Virgo energy is hardworking. And so you're going to experience a lot of big shifts in the next 2 months. Yeah. Next month being eclipse season, lunar eclipse in Pisces. So a lot of y'all are having big changes in work and career. So, and this is going to be like really magnified, this area of your life, as well as home. That's the other thing, because that's what Virgo rules for you. Home and family and your domestic scene and real estate. Again, a lot of you are going to be selling property. Yeah. Buying property, selling. A lot of you are going to be selling, selling property too, because the South Node, right? And Virgo. So really like letting things go. Anyway, but you get what I'm saying here. You're just going to have changes in the home space, but it's a great, like, a lot of you are going to be moving. All right. Or someone's moving in with you, or just some changes at home. And it may be a big focus for you. And, Virgo energy is all about the details. So take advantage. I've been telling you month after month, out with the old, in with the new. That's the prison portal. That's this new era. And that is also this Virgo energy. Old habits, old patterns, old routines, outdated systems. It's all, you're leaving it. The South Node is in Virgo. You've learned your lesson. You're transforming. You're moving into this new you. Now, cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or your moon for your, husband, George, or, your sister, the cop that lives across the street from you, it doesn't matter. All the mutable signs, you, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces will feel this new moon the most. I am going to throw in Taurus and Capricorn to complete the earth signs. Now, if you are, if you know your birth chart, if you know your natal chart, if you have any planets between 0 to 2 degrees, but in any of those signs, you're going to feel this, okay? I'm going to give it a wider orb, 0 to 3 degrees, okay? You're going to feel this the most. And that's enough. I get a lot of questions for you about that, about this. And this is for you to plan. This is all for you to plan ahead and take advantage of these moments. As an example, I just told you that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, 29 degrees in September. It's an eclipse. I'm a Virgo moon at 29 degrees. So that eclipse at 29 degrees will be right on top of my Virgo moon. That's in my 4th house of home and family. So I now know there's gonna be big changes around that time for me. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When I give you these degrees, it'll be more specific to you and your life and your birth chart. So all right. So, okay. Now, Sunday, August 24th, this is where things get a little spicy. Gemini, you see the sun's going to square Uranus. That's in your sign. This aspect is baked into the new moon. And you're definitely going to feel it all weekend. So, what does that even mean? Well, it means expect the unexpected and surprises and breakthroughs and wake up calls, especially in home and family and your routines and work. Okay. So those are the biggest areas for y'all. And remember, Uranus is in your sign and wants you to use him. Okay. And I always say, use these aspects. Don't let them use you. All right. This is the first time Uranus has been in your sign in 84 years. So this is a first of its kind new moon that nobody on this planet has experienced. And the irony is that with Uranus here, it makes this new moon feel like an eclipse because eclipses are game changers and they bring the unexpected. But again, you can use this. Uranus is in your sign. You can use this. Think of the Fool card 0, a 0 degree new moon in Virgo. All right. The full new journeys. Yeah, having that leap of faith. You're already working on your confidence. Yeah. With the sun trine Chiron, doing all that healing from the get-go. But the Fool in tarot is attributed to Uranus. And so remember, Uranus is a ruler for Aquarius. So there really, truly is something here that is going to be eye-opening for you because Aquarius rules your 9th house. So there is something here about the big picture. There is something here about life purpose. There is something here about wisdom and gaining wisdom and seeing things in a new way. Yeah. There's going to be something here where you also may feel a little bit more of that independent, rebellious, freeing yourself spirit. And Uranus in your sign, remember, you rule the mind. That's Gemini energy. So this is, freeing your mind. There may be something here. Again, use this because this is the sun in Virgo squaring Uranus in your sign. You and Virgo are mutable signs, first of all. So be flexible. No, and you're good at that. You're mutable signs. You're good at adapting to things, and Uranus is going to ask you to shake things up. So just be prepared to shake things up for this new thing that you want. The seeds that you're planting. And the other thing is, yeah, you're both mutable signs, but you're the only 2 signs ruled by Mercury. which is sextiling Mars and your fifth house of love, true love, romance, soulmate energy, family, children, uh, creative projects, procreation. But remember, you've got this. You have this really, really interesting thing happening. All right, where there's gonna be some there's got to be some attention with partnerships and relationships too. Okay, let's just keep it light. All right, but remember that Virgo is very analytical, very practical. You're very social. You're the social butterfly. You're quick-witted. You're clever. So use this. You can use this. It's going to be great. You shake things up, all right? For what you want moving forward, all right? And yes, greatawakener.com. Again, I think that this video is coming out the day after it launches, but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot. Everyone's got, I don't, if you're new to my channel, I'm a Gemini rising at 0 degrees. I got Uranus on ascendant, but um, yeah, everyone on this planet is going through launching new things. And thank you for check out the site. It's amazing. I'm very excited. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's going to be moving into this new journey. And that's this thing that I've been wanting to do for so long and taking some things off this channel, moving it onto the Great Awakener. But anyway, check it out. Y'all are amazing. Let's get started. See what is going on for you. Yeah. And I will leave the live stream at the end of this video where I kind of walk you through the site too, if you want that, and you can still sign up. And anyway, let's get started, Gemini. Let's see what's going on for you this week for August 18th to the 24th. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. All right, let's do it. Gemini. There we go. All right. I do a how are y'all doing? I look at that. I lit a candle for you and everything. Gemini, I love y'all. All right. So I do a traditional cult across spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. And if we need a book clarified, that we will. And I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Listen, it is going to be, and here's the other thing. Yeah, over the weekend, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to see if it comes up in your spread. There's going to be something big that happens over the weekend regarding home and family and possibly work. All right. Out with the old, south node, out with the old, new to make room for the new. All right, let's get started. What? Wait. You're good. I'm going to give you a little world twirl. Whoa. Okay. You see that you're really good here. Yeah. Wow. I don't even know. Okay. You got me speechless. How do you do that? You got the 4 wands. Great. Y'all, listen, when I said Venus conjunction, there's so many great things that have been happening for you. Okay. And you've been seeing it. And there's been, sure, we just came out of the Mars Saturn. We came out of some heavy energy too. So everyone felt that, right? But even still, great things still happening. You have the 4 wands. This is absolutely amazing because what I say about like true love and marriage, and it's all here, partnerships and commitments with other people, relationship with other people, freeing yourself, feeling free. That's what you're doing. You're feeling that when Uranus is getting a lot stronger and stronger in your sign, you're feeling it. Uranus is all that freedom. Yeah. But this card is attributed to Aries. It's the 3rd decan. So it's Venus in Aries. And remember, you've got Saturn, you've got Neptune, you've got Chiron, Eris, you've got Ceres, all in Aries, but all retrograde. Like what? So again, a big focus on your relationship with other people and how you contribute to the collective and things like that. Everything that I said earlier, but that's really great because a lot of y'all are just moving into this place where this is a card of like hurrah, huzzah, like celebration, milestone. So this week, and remember, I dropped this forecast a few days before the actual week begins. You are going to be feeling that you're coming after the triple conjunction with the two benefics anyway. So a lot of y'all are. And there is a big emphasis on the domestic sector here as well. So home, family, everything that I mentioned earlier. So really, really nice. And now you got the high priestess and the heart of your spread. Very, very nice. Because when I say it's Sun trine Chiron and and just all these just 5 heavenly bodies in your 11th house. Yeah. That's a big deal. That's healing, right? But it's you going within, and you got the high priestess here saying, You're good. You're good. I got you. The high priestess, the guardian of the subconscious. You can go as deep as you want. You can unroot as much as you want. You're going to be doing it this week anyway, with the South Node activated, with Virgo energy activated, everything. Okay. So amazing. Absolutely amazing. That yeah, there you go. There you go. And the high priestess, highly associated with the moon. And remember, we have a new moon in Virgo. Really use it. Use that. I always say, talk to the moon, speak into the ether. Everything is energy. I always talk about that and talk about it more. The Great Awakener, all live streams too. But when I say that, don't forget, it's not just hermetic principles and law of attraction and whatnot. It's literal science. It's quantum physics. Everything is made of energy. So anyway, this is all about going within. And I feel like you're rediscovering a lot of you. I think that that's really great. What's happening here, divine feminine. You even see her headdress, the different phases of the moon. I think I talked about this last week. It's the order of the universe for, but anyway, you see the sliver of the moon there. You're good. You're great. There is, again, a little bit of going within and maybe tapping into your intuition a lot more this week. Here's a funny thing. I'm going to tell you something. And again, we'll talk about it in the second spread, but over the weekend, when you've got the new moon and you have the Jupiter, I'm sorry, the Uranus square with a new moon in Virgo, you're also having Ceres square Jupiter, but also the moon in Virgo conjunct the South Node in Virgo at 18 degrees. Why is that a thing? Because let me tell you something here. That's the Virgo degree. And it's also a pretty intense degree, but it's the moon with the South Node. Something's got to go. Something's going to go. All right. So keep that in mind. And also it's 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Endings, completion, preparing for 10. South Node. 18 degrees is very karmic, and it's on the karmic node, right? The South Node. But the Sabian symbol for 18-degree Virgo is 2 girls giggling over a Ouija board. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the second spread, but that's like, we're talking about beyond the veil, and you got the high priestess, the heart of your spread. So you're truly seeking messages this week. Yeah. But it's coming from within. The call's coming from within the house. They're all inside you. That's what the high priestess is saying. You got the hermit though, in your challenge area, which is very interesting because the hermit is Virgo. Yeah. Card 9. So, 2 things here. A, you really don't be afraid to go even deeper in terms of thinking about your future, because that's going to be a huge focus for you this week. But the bigger thing that's coming up is that there's someone this week that you are going to maybe recognize, especially someone at home. Okay. May not be it's just like there may be we're not seeing eye to eye, or it's someone that you're recognizing that I cannot trust this person or get advice. I'm not getting it's someone that you might not be getting the best advice from. Yeah, the hermit is the sea, the wizard, the wise man, and in your challenge area. So and again, remember, this is a weekly reading. It just maybe this week where it's just like, I'm going to trust my intuition over what you say. Okay. Grandpa Sam, whatever it is. Okay. Just maybe this week, but there's just something where if it doesn't resonate with you, someone giving you advice or, things like that, just wisdom, the wisdom may be a little off. Remember, out with the old, and that's everything, ways of thinking. All right. But you got the Page of Cups, you got the Knight of Wands, you're ready to go. You're really dreaming about things, these new things you want to bring into your life. You're going to be very imaginative, creative. I said that even with Mars, sextile Mercury, that's big for you. Okay. Remember, Mercury's still in Leo all month. That is your third house. That's your home. That is a mind, it's communication, it's bright ideas, it's all of that processing thing. But there's something new you're bringing into your life, you're thinking about, you want to bring into, you just want to follow your bliss, and you're going to just whoosh, go after it. Okay. With that Knight of Wands energy. I love this. And again, partnerships, relationships, still a thing for you with, Mars and Libra. But you're just ready to go on this mission. But you need to get like spiritually here, like in tune. Yeah. And that's going to be what makes all the difference, because you also got the King of Cups. You got the Page of Cups and the King of Cups, and the King of Cups in your future. And the King of Cups is also very intuitive. In fact, he's like psychic level intuitive. He is Scorpio. Remember, Scorpio is all about going deep through a lot of different layers, it has a lot of depth, and, very psychological in itself. But the King of Cups is someone who has a lot of self love. This is someone who you see his throne is on choppy water. Like, water being emotions, you know what I mean? Like, nothing's going to knock him off that throne. That's how emotionally stable you're going to be after you have your moment of this. It's almost like the spiritual awakening, to be honest. Like, that's going to be really nice, but just trust you over someone else that could be trying to, give you advice, or just not seeing eye to eye, or there's just something here where, like, maybe there's even a part of, or someone that just wants, they need their time and space too. All right. And that would be Ceres, by the way, or active over the weekend. Anyway, let's see what's going on with your stuff. Gemini, y'all are amazing. What I love about this too, by the way, is that Scorpio, this, remember, King Cups is Scorpio. Scorpio rules your sixth house, and remember, that's Virgo's home. So again, another wink and nod to work and your daily activities, where you're just going to feel really good. And it's almost like you become the rock for other people, imparting all this wisdom and knowledge. And anyway, y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing. All right. And, just doing what your heart desires, all these cups. Gemini, if you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. This is gonna be a day. I got Uranus on my ascendant. You're gonna see so many bonkers, like surprising things. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, this clock thing falls over. Anyway, Gemini, y'all crack me up. All right, let's get to your stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, yeah. All right. What a week. What a week. Things are definitely coming to there's gotta be some things that are ending for sure. Yeah. Okay. I want to make that clear. You do have the Ace of Cups. There's just, it's almost like you were just really connecting this week, okay? And it may be based on a lot of circumstances that you just recently went through, where you're just feeling more empowered, and the power of just connecting with your higher mind, your third eye, your everything, right? Yeah, just being focused on your karmic journey, your path to enlightenment, but that spiritual energy within you, that spiritual warrior. I really love it. But anyway, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, King of Cups, Ace of Cups. Look at that. Look at that. Move toward it. It's a new moon. You got the Ace of Cups here. All right. So there's something that you're really seeking, and you can find it. Okay. You can find it. Just continue to trust your intuition and continue to move forward. You do have that 10 of swords. Yeah. In your external factors area. And I don't mind it. It's saying 10 is the end. Anything that was taking up a lot, you just went through Mercury retrograde. Mercury's your ruler, has a big impact on you. There's a lot that was going on up here, even through Mars opposite Saturn, with everything, Venus square. There was so much happening. Saturn, but this is great. The sun's coming out. This is a card of new dawn. It's near external factors area. So there is something that you truly want to end. And it just feels like there's something here where it's like, okay, I have not felt um emotionally moved or inspired or loved or self like there was just too much going on up here. There was so much focus. Other places maybe there was a little bit of scattered energy, but it's like no, not anymore, because I'm now recognize it's all that healing that you're doing this week. But I love that High Priestess and the Heart Ear spread. I just don't know the last time you ever had that. um so this is great. It's just like it just feels like there's a karmic cycle that will be ending, all right, this week, especially over the weekend. Like I said, that's what happens anyway with the South Node and the Moon. But anyway, 5 of Wands. All right. So yeah, there's another that's just saying like I'm done with anything that's just not worth my time anymore. Any little tiny like nutting eye conflicts. Even there could be even like some spirited competitive energy. There may be something with children, or even like if you're a teacher, maybe with students, but whatever it is, like it's just like I'm done with it. Remember, you're the Gale Weathers, right? With Sun Trine Chiron, and you're like done. So I really love this because it's like you're drowning out that noise to focus on you, your intuition. You are developing it. You're going to be almost like pretty much psychic with the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, in your crown with the High Priestess. Like this week, like yeah, that's a lot of like intuitive on a whole other level. That Ace of Cups, really love it. And then you got that 7 of Wands in your final outcome. So I you're good. I just feel like there is going to be let me see something here. I'm going to clarify something. You know what's funny? Did you see it? Okay, so you did get these cards in your last week's reading. And let's clarify this. I want to see something. Yeah. Okay. There's going to be something that you have some you can't you've got to let something's it's okay. So 7 of Wands, you see all these wands coming after him, and there is even like that spirit of just competition. It's kind of there's stimulation here. But at the same time, you've got to ask yourself when you look at what's happening here, even with that 5 of Wands, these are 2 Leo cards. Remember, Leo does rule your 3rd house, and that's your home. So that is a lot of creative energy. I mean, you're very creative. That's like writing and advertising, PR, marketing. It's communication. It's launching things, curiosity, all of that. But anyway, a lot of work stuff, like I said. But it just feels like there may be something like, are you holding on to something that, again, you've done all this work? You've done all this work. What are you holding on to that has to go? All right. Because you have that 3 of Swords as a clarifier. Now, the other thing is like there could be something that you're holding on to that you deeply, truly know is like, I'm gonna fight for this. This is standing up for myself. This is a card of valor. This is drawing a line in the sand. But maybe there is something that again has to go, and it's not exactly what you wanted, and it might have to do with a relationship. It might have to do with something that brought you a lot of fun and pleasure, that you're just like, oh, okay, I all right, I'm gonna have to work with this energy with that 3 of Swords, which is a Libra card. So again, you got Mars in Libra. Mars can be aggressive in Libra, as I've explained. In Libra is commitments and partnerships and marriage and things like that too. All right. So just keep that in mind. There may be something here. I'm gonna I'll clear what how much I'll clarify that. 3 of Swords for you. The 4 of Swords right after. Wow. You don't mess around. You go straight into just that's over. Great. I'm going to rest. I'm going to retreat. There was a lot of activity that was happening. And so this is kind of it's just almost like a journey in itself with that High Priestess, the King of Cups, Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, 10 of Swords. Let's take a look at that. What? So that's bonkers. So you got the Three of Swords with the Four of Swords. You got the Ten of Swords with the Page of Swords. What comes after the Ten of Swords? The Page of Swords. But anyway, interesting. So again, like I said, I like this here. The Ten of Swords is like the end of something. Now you got the Page of Swords bringing that fresh new energy. You can think clearly. There's something new. This new idea. There's even this message. You know, pages are messengers coming. You know, you're getting it now because you've let that whatever you needed to go. You're also up here. There may be this fresh, exciting new energy because we're moving into this new world, this new era. But I like that too with that Four of Swords, something you're healing from. And so, yeah, there may be something, an emotional experience that you have here, but you have to remember these are swords. Okay. So, whatever this is up here, yeah. And so swords are the mental suit, but it is communication as well. So there may be something here where it's this is like stillness of mind. This is like even like when you're just like, I don't want any more. It's like you're going into what is it? Like it's like you're going on to like a solo journey to Palm Springs to meditate at a retreat by yourself for a week. Like that's what this feels like. And there's stuff that's coming up, yeah, this week that you may, you know, confront and face. And it's very interesting what's happening here, but it's also very empowering. Now, for a lot of y'all, yeah, there may be something this week where it's just like something that you really fought hard for. It's like it didn't go the way that you wanted, and now you're gonna, you know, rest and retreat. But that clears all this room for all this new to come through, and you're really connecting emotionally, intuitively. You're really like feeling your way this week, and it could even be very visceral this week for you. But again, really love that Knight of Wands. It's kind of anchor it, just like, let's do it. Let's go. I'm on a mission. But I need this is how I get focused and centered. Very interesting. Okay, Gemini, thanks so much. Next week, to be on, like, very interesting spread. Very interesting spread, but that does seem like there will be something that is like there's gonna be a turning point for something. And remember, a lot of home and family energy. But when you get these two Libra cards right next to each other, they're so partnerships, maybe even contracts, but home, family is still a thing for you. Yeah, relationship, significant other, and then that. But it's almost like you have this knowing. We gotta move forward. Anyway, next week. In the second spread, we're gonna do a spread just on the new moon to isolate that. And then we'll talk about this weekend. It's a big weekend. There's a lot happening. So yeah, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. And then next week is a big week. Remember, we have that rare aspect that hasn't happened since the 60s. And you're a big part of it. I mean, but anyway, we'll talk about it next week. And then, yeah, there's going to be, and it's just so funny when I see what's happening here, because I always like next week, I know what's happening for, and remember, we have a lot of Venus aspects. All right. So love and money and creative projects. We'll talk more next week. If you like this reading, would be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Gemini, tell me what's going on. And I'll see you next week. All right. Thanks so much. All right. Bye-bye.